Han stood on the brink with the tips of his knee-high black boots projecting over the edge of the natural bridge. The voices of his friends were distant enough to be indistinct. That section of the bridge lacked anything in the way of a railing, and nothing stood between him and the abyss. "You'll want to watch that first step, flyboy," Leia said from behind him. Han gave a start but didn't turn around. "Funny thing is, ground zero's always a lot closer than you think." Leia's footsteps drew nearer. "Even if that's true, you might want to consider a sturdy pair of repulsor boots." He aimed a skewed grin over his shoulder. "No need to worry, sweetheart. I'm already down there." Leia came alongside him and glanced warily over the edge. "And I thought the view from our apartment was unnerving." She took gentle hold of Han's arm and eased him back from the edge. "You're making me nervous." "That's got to be a first." He forced a smile. "I'm fine." Leia's brow furrowed. "Are you, Han? Today couldn't have been easy for you." He averted his gaze. "I wish I understood what I was feeling. I thought the ceremony would help put things to rest, but it's only made matters worse. Maybe if I'd been able to retrieve Chewie's body and there'd been some kind of funeral—" He allowed his words to trail off, then shook his head angrily. "What am I talking about? It's more than missing out on some ritual." Leia waited for him to continue. "I know I can't change what happened at Cernpedal, but I blame myself for getting us into that fix to begin with." "You weren't responsible, Han." "I was," he snapped. "Who knows what kind of life Chewie would have had if I hadn't dragged him all over the galaxy running spice and chalk root and whatever else we could smuggle." Leia frowned. "Meaning what, Han? That you shouldn't have rescued him from slavery? Besides, don't try to tell me that Chewie didn't enjoy gallivanting around with you. You heard what Ralwa said. Adventure was the reason Chewie left Kashyyyk to begin with. You and he were two of a kind." Han firmed his lips. I guess I know that. Still..." He shook his head mournfully. "I'm losing him," he said despondently. "I know he's dead, but I used to be able to feel him alongside me, just outside the edge of my vision. It's like if I turned quickly enough, I'd catch sight of him. I could hear him, too, clear as day, laughing or complaining about something I'd done. But something's changed. I have to think long and hard to really see him or hear him." "You're getting on with your life, Han," Leia said softly. He laughed shortly. "Getting on with my life? I don't think so. Not till I found some way to make his death count for something." "He saved Anakin," Leia reminded. "That's not what I mean. I want the Yuuzhan Vong to pay for what they did at Cernpedal, and for all that they're continuing to do." Leia stiffened. "I can understand that coming from Anakin, Han, because he's young and hasn't figured things out, but please don't make me hear it from you." He shrugged out of her hold. "What makes you think I know any more about life than Anakin knows?" She dropped her hands by her sides. "That's something I hadn't considered, Han." "Well, maybe you should," he rasped.